This show is about your mental health. While it's supported by the pillars of positivity and hope, if you find yourself in crisis, please reach out for help. In many communities in both the United States and Canada, you can dial 211 to be connected to mental health and crisis services in your region. While it may seem like it at times, you are not alone. Well, good evening, everybody. Yes, I got a haircut. Managed to get a haircut, finally, after about 3 months. And yes, it's very short, because I never know when I'm going to see another haircut again. So that's why it's so short. How's everybody doing today? In fact, I'm asking that question for a reason. Well, I should always ask it for a reason, but I'm asking it for a reason. What kind of day did you have today? Or what kind of week are you having? Where are you right now? On a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being absolutely fantastic, and 1 being, I've had much better days. So where are you today on a scale of 1 to 10? Just give me a number. Just give me a number, and that will all factor in a few minutes. We're going to talk about those numbers. So once again, where are you today on a scale of 1 to 10? Are you a 1, which wouldn't be very good? A 5, which, I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm coping. Or a 10, fantastic. Okay, there we go. A lot of 6s and 7s there. Okay, that's good. You know, anything over a 6 is good. I'm thinking these days, if you can hit a 6, you're not doing too bad. We're going to talk about those numbers in a bit, so keep putting those numbers up on the screen. Let's, hello for Newfoundland. Yeah, hi, Darlene. How are you? Nice to see you. I found in my survey that there's quite a few people who are watching out in Atlantic, Canada. Hello, and welcome to you. At least now I know I have a place to stay if I go visit. I love Atlantic Canada. Absolutely beautiful. Let's get to Spunky, shall we? Let's start this session off right, and do a little bit of a breathing exercise. You remember. And for those of you who are new, if you are new, put down the fact you're new. Put down the fact you're new here, please, and everybody will welcome you with open arms, as we always do. But what we do is we do this breathing exercise. When you're breathing in through the nose, you're breathing out through the mouth. When you're breathing in, you're feeling how fresh and cool it is. You're going to be asked to hold it. Make sure you hold it. That's important in order for you to take control of that parasympathetic nervous system. And when you're breathing out, you're going to imagine that you're chipping away a bit at your stress and anxiety, wherever it is in your body, in your stomach, in your neck, in your shoulders, in your head, wherever it is. You're going to chip away at some of that anxiety. And as you breathe out, you're letting it go. It's not going to come back in. You can't let it come back in, because when you breathe back in, it's just fresh, clean air. So let's bring on Spunky and do a little box breathing right now. Hey, you all set?
Uh-huh.
It's another week, Spunky. Here we go. Everybody breathe in through your nose, nice and cool, clean air for 4 seconds. And then you're going to hold it, just not straining. Now out through your mouth. Remember, send some of that stress and anxiety packing. Out it goes. Hold it. Now breathe in clean air. Don't let that anxiety back in. Okay, as you're holding it, you're picturing that anxiety. Where is it? Grab it and breathe out now. Here we go, 4 seconds. And hold it. You got the idea. Now we're going to breathe in through your nose. And then you're going to hold it just for 4 seconds. If it's too much, then don't do it. Ease off. Cut down on the time. Take over, Spunky. Thank you, Spunky. We'll see you next week. All right?
Woohoo!
I see Patricia says she's late. Well, here's what you missed, Patricia. I need to know where you are right now on a scale of 1 to 10 in your mood, in your mental health. And you can use today as an example, or how you are this week. Everybody has been putting in their numbers from 1 to 10. 10 being absolutely fantastic. 5 and 6 being, I'm coping. And 1 being absolutely horrendous. So if you haven't done your number, put your number in, folks. Place that bid. Place that bid. Today we're going to do just sort of a potpourri or a potpourri, if you would like, of a number of different subjects and the different ideas. Let's get to the numbers first, okay? Yes, Calvin says, would you put Calvin's comment up, please? Because Patricia's never going to learn. We need a late slip, Patricia. Yeah, we do. No, you're always welcome. You're always welcome here at any time without a late slip. Now, let's get to these numbers. I wanted to do a bit of a checkup today. I did a survey this week. Thank you for everyone who filled it out. I'll talk a little bit about that in a bit to find out a little bit about what you're thinking about this program and about the podcast. So thank you very much for all of you who filled it out. But I was thinking, you know what I don't do often enough is just sort of pause, stop, and find out how you're doing right now. I want to take a snapshot where we are. It is tougher and tougher. You know what I found this week? It's tougher and tougher sometimes to remain positive, isn't it? Does anybody else have that problem? I'm sure you do. You try your hardest, and just after a while, it's like you need just a bit of a kick in the pants. So tonight I want to give you a bit of a kick in the pants. I want to find out where you are. So for those of you who are registering between 1 and 5, and you know what? I'm joining you today on a 5. I'm going to join you today on a 5. That's how I am today. So those of us between a 1 and a 5, I want each of us to take an extra breath just right now, because we're going to start right here, okay? Everybody who's 1 to 5. You other people, 6 to 10, no breathing. 1 to 5, take a deep breath. Okay, because we got to improve those numbers. The people who are a 6 to 10, how come? What are you doing? Like I said, a 6. Oh, 6, great news. My daughter announced there will be a new baby in the family in September. Shauna, congratulations. Fantastic. See? Little, pieces of good news really go a long way to help us out. What are you doing? What are you doing to stay it? So Cameron says, yes, very tough, but I'm trying to buy positive ions. What do you mean by positive ions? So all of you people who are a 6 to 10, what are you doing? How are you maintaining this? Now, you may fall to a 5 or a 4, I'm sure, in some days. But I'd like to know. All right, so there's Charity. Making my friends happy and making food for friends and family. That's nice. Just spent the day with my family, Patricia. That's why you were late. Let me see. Days off work and did nothing. You know what? You need permission to do nothing sometimes, right? I had a day yesterday where I had really nothing to do. And all day long, I kept doing this. Why am I just sitting here? I'll watch some TV, I'll watch a movie or something like that. But I felt guilty. We need permission to give ourselves something to do. Let me see. Positive experiences at work, a great manager, like buy carbon credits, Kevin. Okay, yeah, okay. I'd like to buy some ion credits. I'm going to work on that. That's a good idea. New job internally at my company. So excited. Kelly, isn't that wonderful? I know that times get tough for you, especially sometimes. So I think that's great. And you need to remember that. Just signing. What's 1 to 10? Tracy, first of all, everybody who's late has to buy everybody else a coffee. Not my rules. Well, yeah, it is my rule. I just made it up. No, Tracy, we are talking about where you are right now on a scale of 1 to 10. So 1 to 5, as we said, is I'm not doing well today. A 6 to a 10. A 6 means, yeah, I'm coping. And a 10, of course, means that, Shauna's a 10 today because she's found out she's going to be a grandmother. So there we go. Working out daily, taking care of myself, eating healthier, increasing water intake, openly talk about how I'm feeling, started taking medication. Sarah! Parker, give her some sound effect. Something more. Yay! Put Sarah's comment back up. Working out daily, taking care of myself, eating healthier, increasing water intake, openly talk about how I'm feeling, started taking medication. And there's a little LOL. It can be tough sometimes. It can be tough to keep it up. And Sarah, if you ever find that some days you get up and I don't want to do that. First of all, realize that's normal, okay? It's important to remain positive, but there are some days, like I'm having that day today, where it's a day where, I fall back a bit, and that's okay. As long as it doesn't keep sliding back further and further and further. The important thing is, for all of us 1 to 5, try and figure out why you're 1 to 5. So we've got some advice here, and Sarah just gave us the best advice in the world. Everything we've talked about in this program. My 99-year-old Nana got her vaccine shot. Oh, that's great, Meredith. So does that mean now you can see her? I hope it does. The sleep is important, and the time for yourself is important. But if you're having a 1 to 5 day, look at why that is. Try and figure it out. I can tell you what mine is. I did something. Cooked a roast beef dinner alone. Okay, hold that comment for a second from Teresa. I want to address that. Hold that comment if you could, Parker. Anyway, the reason I'm having a 5 day is simply because I wore myself out doing something when I knew I had to get ready for this show, and I love this show. I love this time. I love this time spent with you. And about 6 o'clock, I said to Parker, I don't think I'm going to have a show today. I'm not into it. He said one word. Why? That was all he said. And I went on this long examination of how I was feeling from that one word. Because I think Parker enjoys it. You enjoy it, don't you, Parker, doing the show? Yeah, gives me a big thumbs up. I think that was a thumb. But then I started thinking, okay, I don't have to stand on my head or anything. I don't have to perform brain surgery or anything. I just have to come in and chat with my family. So it's just, I was worn out. And so we talked about the sleep, importance of sleep and rest, right? I had to get up early today and get some stuff done. And boy, it took hours for this haircut. So that was, Meredith. There's the answer for us. After the second shot, we were saying, can you go see Grandma? Looking forward to celebrating her 100th soon. When's her 100th? When is her 100th? We got to do something special. So there's where I look at that and I'm okay with that. Okay, now I know why I fell down to a 5. Now I know. Okay, and you got to give yourself permission to fall to a 5 or a 4 sometimes. If you're falling down to a 1, 2, or 3, I really need you to try and get some help and reach out to someone. If it is lasting day after day after day, if it's just one day, that's okay. So if you're going to fall back, don't get mad at yourself that you're not still positive and not still having a 10 day. It's okay. That's normal. That's human. In fact, I'd be worried if you were constantly at a 10. So for those of us 1 to 5, let's look at why we're at that number. And then tomorrow's another day. First thing when you get up in the morning, you know what? I'm going to have an 8 day today. I'm going to be an 8 today. That's what I don't want to be a 10. I don't want to be a 6. I want to be an 8. I'm going to strive for an 8 tomorrow. So tomorrow, you're going to strive for an 8. And talk with each other. Reach out with each other. We're going to talk some more about being in the here and now, but I wanted to get to that other comment that Teresa had. So cooked a roast beef dinner alone, started off at 6, but went to 3 because no one to share it with. And Teresa, boy, I can relate to that. I think a lot of us can relate to that. There were so many things that we did, prior to all this isolation and lockdown. And, here we are. A lot of times, some of us are lucky that we have someone still around to share things with. But, so my thoughts go out to you. But you know what? You made the roast beef dinner good. There's nothing wrong with making a roast beef dinner for yourself, as long as you make it with that relish. Oh, have you ever had homemade relish with roast beef and Yorkshire pudding with the gravy? Anyway, it's okay to make something special for yourself, to spend hours cooking. I did have great leftovers. I bet you did, Teresa. It's okay. It's okay. In April. Okay, that's okay. Meredith is answering the question. This is how I have conversations now, right? I have conversations because I have like disjointed conversations over a period of time. So Meredith is answering the question. I said, how much longer until her 100th birthday? So she said mid-April, and I hope to still be on the air at this time. Let me see. Cameron says at 5 today does not mean tomorrow needs to be a 4, unless you're golfing. All right, that's Cameron's last comment. No more. Bad joke. Where's Mike Robin? I don't see him here anywhere. Okay, I'm just worried about him. Okay. Where was I going now? Oh, yeah, being nice to yourself, being good to yourself, cook yourself a roast beef dinner, who cares? But do yourself a favor. Don't sit in front of the TV or over the sink and eat it. Light a candle for yourself. It's okay. You got to do stuff for yourself. I did a blog on that last week. That was last week. Hold on, Parker, before we go to that one. I did something on being nice to yourself. Look for that. The blog, of course, is at thehappymolecule.com. Thehappymolecule.com. I try and update those blogs every few weeks. I would love for you to go to that and take part of that. So the blog I'm doing, I just did, I think 2 days ago. And if you subscribe to my emails, you'll find out when the blogs are out there. So the latest blog is called You Are Here Now. So I use this picture of a highway and I sort of doctored up these signs, but it really strikes me how we're always looking for the next off-ramp. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where have we been? Instead of looking around. And it struck me yesterday. I watched this video on YouTube. In fact, I'm going to see if I can. I just have to look it up here because I should credit the person. It looks like the gentleman did it all by himself. He's a lover of Niagara Falls, which I am. I love Niagara Falls. I love visiting Niagara Falls. I've visited it dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of times. I love Niagara Falls. I just love it. I love everything around it. You're going to find, first of all, landscapes that you don't find anywhere else in the world there. So, what was his name? Because I want to tell you the history. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Hidden Niagara, Creation of the Niagara Gorge. And it was put on by... Where's his name? Okay. I'm sorry. His name is in the video, but Hidden Niagara, Creation of the Niagara Gorge. If you are interested in Niagara Falls like I am, this is a great video to watch. Now, why do I bring that up? Tracy Walker. How do we subscribe? You go to thehappymolecule.com, which I'm doing right now. And thank you for asking that. I appreciate it. You go to thehappymolecule.com. There's an annoying little pop-up saying, do you want to listen to the podcast? Oof. You accept the cookies. And then you'll go there and it says subscribe. And you put your email in there and then you confirm your email. You have to confirm it. And then I send you newsletters. I send you the blog alerts. I send you the podcast alerts. At any time you can unsubscribe. I'm trying not to abuse that. I am not selling your email address. Okay? I'm using it just between us. That's it. I'm not selling that. And if I got, if someone gave me, $1 million, okay, let's not say $1 million. Let's say $10,000. I think I'd probably sell you all out for $1 million. But I'm not selling your information. Okay, I'm not selling your information. So thank you very much for asking that question. All right, I want to talk about this Niagara Falls thing and why it struck me. I love Niagara on the Lake as well. I love St. Catharines. I love that whole area, the Welland Canal area. I've biked through there, hiked through there, ran through there, driven through there, the Niagara Parkway. It's fantastic. However, if you watch this video, there are so many things I didn't even know I was passing. Some incredible hiking trails. Incredible. And I just passed by them on the Niagara Parkway. There's so many different hiking trails that can bring you down to the gorge, can bring you down towards the whirlpools, and as the gentleman says in the video, please obey all the signs, all right? These are all safe trails as long as you stay on the trail and stay safe. So please obey those signs. And it's worth it. You know what? It's pretty spectacular. You stay on the trail, it's very spectacular. But isn't it amazing that we're driving around? Can we put that blog picture up again, Parker? We're driving around, drive, and who knows? What if there's the most incredible picnic pickup spot? No, no, I don't mean that. What if there's the most incredible picnic spot, right to the right-hand side of where this picture was taken? The most incredible view, but we're driving by at 100 kilometers an hour, and we're not paying attention, and we're not enjoying it. So you got to think about where you are right now. Look around. And in a lot of cases, we fall to that 1 to 5 on the scale because we're so busy looking for the next off-ramp. We're so busy trying to get where we're going. The next time you are rushing somewhere, think about where you're going and why you're rushing there. What's that? Oh, because he's late for work. Other than the fact you're late for work. Parker's always late for work. No, he's not, but he's always on time. Never mind. But, stop for a minute and think, why am I rushing? Why? Is there, there are things we need to rush for. Okay? So there's an assignment due. It's due at a certain time on a certain date, and that's that. You can't change that. You have something due for your boss. It's due at that time. However, almost everything we do in a day, we rush through. For me, I hate emptying the dishwasher. But you know what? When I do, I want to rush it through because I want to do this. But why not? I'm not going to get a prize for finishing it. So there are many times we need to slow down on that roadway and pull into. If you've been on the Niagara Parkway, first of all, are the trails open in the winter? I think some of them are open in the winter. Okay. Let me see. Patricia asked me a question. Okay, so let's put that up. If you don't want to answer here, that's fine. And I'm going to answer it. I'm an open book. Is it possible that because you're coming up in the 1 year mark for all this COVID live podcast stuff, that it's bothering you and you don't realize it? No, and thank you for asking, Patricia. It's not, because honestly, it's the exact other way around. I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't started these broadcasts, the podcast and the Facebook Live show. It does. It does strike a chord that we're coming up to the 1 year mark. But, it's a matter of we're all coping together. Thank God for all of you. Thank God for Parker. So yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing well with that. I just had a 5-day today. Today was my 5-day. And I know why. And I'm okay with that. I'll just get a really good sleep tonight. As you are rushing through your day, stop and slow down and think a little bit about what you're missing. In 2 weeks, I am talking with Dan Rubenstein on my podcast. He is a writer with Carleton University in Ottawa, and he has written a book on walking and how important walking is. And one of the things he brings up in his book is he brings up the fact that man was never able, and when I use the term man, I use the term man from human. Just want you to know that. I'm not trying to be gender specific. So man was never meant to go 100 kilometers an hour. We can't process that amount of information at 100 kilometers an hour. We can't. We can process walking speed. So as we're going in our cars and whipping around the world on a jet, we can't process that distance properly. We just can't. Our mind, it clutters our mind. Whereas when we're walking, there's more time to look, to observe, to analyze, and go on to the next thing. So walking is really important. So I'm going to do this podcast, I should say, in 2 weeks. And I invite you to go for a walk with us, to go for a walk while you're listening to the blog. What else do we have on the plan? I have a saying. Are we allowing Cameron to speak again after that bad joke? Yeah, I guess. I have a saying. Plan, don't rush. When I rush, bad things happen. A meandering drive on a sunny day with a friend is a great way to find those cool places. Do you remember what I said last week about Alan Watts and what he had said about life not being a journey? Life is not a journey, and stop making it a journey. Because a journey has a destination that you are aiming for and you are going there. The only destination we have in life is death. That is the only destination we should have in life. But we give ourselves these destinations and we rush to get there. And when we get there, okay, what next? What next? He says no more. Life is more like a dance. A dance has no destination. You don't look at the floor and say to your partner, we are going to end up right there. Unless it's one of those spot dances you did at high school and you want to win the prize and your buddy's on the student council and he told you where the spot is that you can win the prize, so you try desperately to get there until you realize your buddy has told every other person in the school that that's the spot, and the entire school ends up on the... I'm digressing. But you don't pick a spot on the floor. What do? You hold hands and you move and you enjoy the music. You just enjoy the music. You're not going anywhere. There is no destination. There's no line you're following on the floor. So please read my blog about you are here now. And we talk about being now. And I have some ideas there for you about being now. Things like taking advantage of life's pauses, life's built-in pauses. Life gives you so many chances to be in the here and now, and you don't even realize it. Every red light you stop at is a pause. And I notice more and more what people do, and that you have to honk at them, is they go to their phone. They can't be in the here and now right now. They've got this time, and instead of just thinking about being here and now, I gotta be on the phone. Oh, it's green. Okay, here I go. You shouldn't be touching your phone when you're driving. But use that pause. What other pauses are there? There's standing in an elevator. Okay? There's going up an escalator. Instead of walking up the escalator, now it's good exercise if you walk up the escalator, but stand there and take advantage of that pause. Life is giving you a pause. There's nothing you can do. It's saying, okay, everybody, Kevin's on the escalator. He can't do the 4 million things that he wants to do. He has this pause. So take advantage of life's little pauses. Take a breath. And just say, here I am. It's a little bit difficult at first because it's kind of weird. We're not used to that. But take that breath, say, here I am, and then look around. Try and notice something you've never noticed before. Like right now. Right now. I want you to look around where you are right now, and I want you to tell me, what do you see right now that you've never noticed before? It can be a little difficult. At first, you got to look, but then you start learning how to do it. And the next thing you know, you're walking down your street that you've walked a million times before, and you're saying, I never realized that fence was there. So what is it that you can see right now, look around, that you've never noticed before? Take a moment. Oh, I'm just trying to think myself. Okay. It's kind of hard. I got the light shining in my face and things like that. What is something you've never noticed before? Okay, it's gonna take me a second. Hold on. Has anybody got one yet? Has anybody got one yet? Sparkling lights in Barrie. Okay. Either you're in a plane or you're looking out a window. Okay. No. Okay, this is a tough one. I give myself a very difficult assignment as well. Oh, Darlene, no, 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 no. You can't. It says I've sat here way too many times for so long. No, I'm not letting myself off, so I'm not going to let you up. I want you just to one little thing, because then what that does is engages your mind, and it says, okay, wherever you're somewhere, it doesn't have to be in a room, but when you're walking somewhere or driving somewhere, that I want you to start paying attention to things that are around you that you're missing. That's one of the wonderful things about when you go for a walk. Like let's say I was walking down College Street last fall, and I was amazed at how beautiful some of the buildings were, the 2 and 3 story buildings that I had never noticed before. All the fine architecture work and all the little gingerbread on some of the houses and things. I'd never noticed how beautiful some of those things were. Let me see, yeah, there's got to be something. I'm the same way though, Cameron. I'm the same way right now. I don't know. What is something? Okay, I'm gonna allow you. You know what? It's gonna create anxiety right now. But I want you to think about that when you're out walking, okay? Because you haven't noticed every single thing in your neighborhood or at work on your way to work or things like that. What else have we got? Let me see. Anybody else find things? So try and do that. The dust on the picture in my bedroom. Okay, yeah. All right, I did notice some dust on my lamp here. Yeah. I did notice that. But yeah, okay. All right. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, yes. Young people. We have never, I don't think, and I grew up in the 70s, that there has ever been a bigger generation gap than there is now between youth and those who are older. I don't think that we've ever been at a time where so many young people have resented so many old people, and so many old people have resented so many young people. There's been a lot of blame going on. There's been a lot of hurt. There's been a lot of accusations. There's been a lot of young people feeling that their world has been used up, that there's nothing left for them when they get older. And there's older people who are saying, well, you know what? You got to make it. Make it yourself. I did it. So I'm worried about this right now because the latest polls that we are finding that youth are getting hit harder by loneliness and mental health during this lockdown than any other demographic. And mainly 18 to 34. And we have to reach them. We have to put aside this, whatever is causing this feud, and we have to reach out for them. I wrote an email to all of my colleagues at Seneca, where I teach, just saying, listen, we got to watch out for our students. And they do. Seneca does a wonderful job on that, and staff are trained and have resources. So that's great, and most schools do. We have to watch out for our young people. It is. Sometimes they don't want our help. Sometimes we got to give it to them anyway. It's important. Unfortunately, we're finding in a lot of businesses as well, a lot of the older people are being pushed aside just because it costs too much. I mean, that's sort of what happened to me. There's a bigger story than that. But so we have a lot of young people who don't have the mentors that I had when I was a young buck in a newsroom. The old people were there and they were kicking your butt and they were telling you what was right and what was wrong and whether you liked it or not. So there's many times a lot of young people don't have the mentorship that they need. So whatever you can do to get messages to those who are younger about coping, about mental health, about reaching out for help, about reaching out for therapy, and there's so much free therapy that's available now online, digital therapy, and there's more coming on every day. And I know there can be a waiting list from time to time. But whatever you can do to reach out to our youth, because for whatever reason, they are taking this a lot harder. They're taking it a lot harder. I was speaking with someone yesterday who had noticed that at the place that they worked, that and it sort of, it's an entertainment kind of place, that the youth were almost like yelling and screaming and drinking and smoking and all, just going crazy. It sort of said to me, you know what? I think there are a lot of young people who just want to explode right now and who want to just get over with this and get back on with life. Especially if they were thinking that there really wasn't anything left out there for them. And they think, well, no, I got to get back to life. I did read an interesting article. I think it was in the New York Times today, and it was about more young people starting their own businesses because they have to, or doing the side hustle. I'm trying to find it here. But, they're realizing they've got to do the gig economy, right? So whatever we can do to bridge that gap. In fact, you know what? Sometimes it helps us as well. If you're an older person, you're reaching out and you're doing that. So whatever you can do. Anything else that people want to talk about right now? Anything else? Oh, the survey. Some people are saying they would like to try the survey. Can someone please put down the website of that? I don't have it with me right now. Wait, hold on, I might. Here it is, yes. How can we get that into the system, Parker? It's a long survey. Can I copy and paste something? It's in notes, actually. Go ahead. And it is survey right down there. Up there. Right there. Yep. So that's the URL right there. And that is the podcast survey. Did it go? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Thank you. So there's the podcast survey. I said I was going to talk a little bit about that. Thank you for those who did fill it out and those who are going to. It was interesting. A lot of you were saying that you like what I'm doing. You would like to hear more Canadian people. I know I have quite a few hosts from around the world, or guests from around the world, and I'm trying to find the best of the best for you as I can. But I'm gonna keep that in mind. What are some of the other things people had said about the survey? I'm big with women. That a lot of you watch this show and listen to the podcast, but a lot of you didn't even know there was a podcast. So if you want to find the podcast, go to my website, thehappymolecule.com. And at that time, it usually pops up, but if not, just click on podcast, listen to the podcast, and you can. I have taken a sabbatical for 2 weeks off the podcast. I didn't put one up last week, and I'm not going to put one up this week. We're starting season 2. So we're going to start talking about addiction during lockdown, which sadly a lot of people have fallen prey to. We're going to talk about that. And then the second episode, as I mentioned, is going to be Dan Rubenstein, and we're going to talk about walking, why it's important, how to do it properly, and how to do it in such a way that you are mindful. He's not just talking about walking for the exercise. He's talking about the mindfulness of it. And it's really good because most people can go for a walk. So that's good. Let me see. What else do we have? Anything? Who's talking? What spider? I miss these conversations. What are they talking about spiders, Parker? Boris the spider. So Steve, the spider is visiting you. All right, who has the spider? We have to go back on our timeline. Okay, could somebody explain to me the spider? Yes, Toronto. Well, Toronto is sort of in lockdown, yeah. And MC Laurie says addiction, interesting, yeah. And it's not all out addiction, although that's bad. I'm just talking about people who just are self-medicating a lot as well. Herster, you often spoke of uplifting and fun things. Are you going back on that? Am I? Okay. You say, I need to hear these things. Yeah, sometimes we sort of are too close to the forest to see the trees, right? So, okay, Darlene, noted. Have I not been talking enough about fun and uplifting things? I am going to put that in the back of my mind, and I will continue to remember about that. Let me see. Oh, Ellen Daniel saw a spider crawling across the ceiling. Okay. Oh, I see. When we were trying to find out things you hadn't noticed before. Okay, thank you for that. It was driving me crazy. Okay, let me see. All right, I think that's it. So check out the website, check out the podcast. I hope to have information about a sponsor coming up soon. And the good news about getting a sponsor is I can continue doing this. If no sponsor, can't continue doing this. But that I hope to have, keep your fingers crossed, some good news about that. That is it for tonight. Check out the blog. Remember to be in the here and now. And let's all work tomorrow to have an 8, to be an 8. Even if you are down in the dumps today, try so hard to figure out ways to make yourself have an 8 tomorrow. Well, thanks for joining me and Parker. Take care of yourself and take care of each other.